Good morning and welcome to this week's edition of Saturday Morning Coffee with Back to Basics Dog Training. And as always, thank you for inviting me into your home this Saturday and every Saturday morning. It's truly an honor and a privilege to bring this live free dog training session to you guys, answer all your dog training questions, your concerns, things I can help you with to help you and your dog have that happy, balanced life together. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Leon. I'm the trainer here over at Back to Basics Dog Training. And, we are coming up with some new and exciting things here. So, again, this week, I'm going to put it out there. If you guys are interested, anybody interested can reach out to me as soon as I find what I'm looking for at the information below. Text me or email me. I'm going to be doing a new show. I'm thinking I'm going to start at Tuesday nights, 9 o'clock Eastern time. This way we can get to some of our customers and viewers on the West Coast. And that Tuesday night session will be 15-minute free live dog training sessions with you guys. Putting it out there to have that one-on-one with me. Let me talk about your dog's concerns, focus on you, not worry about the questions coming up, and just focus on you guys. So if you're interested in it, please either let me know in the chat here or, reach out to me. And we'll definitely be scheduling those things as soon as I start getting some feedback from some of you, my customers. We'll get those out there. And like I said, I'm planning on Tuesday nights, 9 o'clock Eastern time. I'm just bouncing it around right now. This way we carry the East Coast through the West Coast, and hopefully we can get more dog lovers on here. So guys, please share this information out with your friends and relatives and family members around the country, around the world, because it doesn't matter. Beauty of internet is it goes all over the place. So good morning, Michelle, Athena, or Rob. First, Michelle, Rob, Athena, and Bergen. And good morning, Patrice. Hope everything is going good with you guys. So a couple things I want to start the conversation with this week. One, I got some really, really good feedback from one of my customers up north. And it's something I talk to you guys about all the time, and it revolves around threshold management. Apparently, they had the landscapers come, and anybody who knows Donna and Rich with Stark, we talk about them a lot. The landscapers came and left the gate open. And unfortunately, the family didn't realize that the gate was left open by the landscapers. Stark was outside for 3 hours roughly, with Donna coming in and out of the house. She was cooking, barbecuing, whatever. Stark never left the backyard. And how great is that? And that's because they really, really worked so hard in the very beginning from day one with working with me on threshold management with Stark, not running out the front door, not running out the back door. And, I said, make sure, when they texted me, I said, that's fantastic. Just reinforce it. Guys, I talk about threshold management, and it's so important to do threshold management at the gates because that's an escape point. And, we think about threshold management, the way I just talk about it is the process of doing the walk, going out the front door calmly, blah, blah, blah. But that should be taken to any access point around that the dog has access to the outside world. So when I talk about threshold management, I'm talking about not only the front door, I'm talking about the back door, side doors. If you have a door leading from your house to your garage, that door, the garage door leading to the driveway, that door, and especially the gates. And one of the things that Donna texted me when I said, that's fantastic, just reinforce it, keep reinforcing it, is she says when they do the walk with Stark, and this will be great help for you guys, they vary how they leave for the walk, where they leave from. So one day they'll go out the front door, one day they'll go out the back door through either gate. They have two different gates, I believe. They will leave through the garage door. They reinforce threshold management every place the dog has access to the outside world. So in a case like this, which is a huge, huge success, the gate was left open. Nobody realized it, and Stark didn't go anywhere. I mean, you guys are watching me on Facebook, so you all know that, Facebook, you see somebody left the gate open, the kids left the gate open, and my dog got away. Well, teach them that's not acceptable, guys. I can't stress it enough. I won't see those horrible posts if people would just listen to threshold management. Guys, episode 2 on mastering the walk on my YouTube channel and how to leash train your dog. I keep saying mastering the walk. Um, it is so crucial. So let's, this week's goal, this month's goal, work with your dogs on threshold management. Focus on it. Focus. Spend the time. I've done seminars where I've talked about it. I've done training sessions where I've talked about it. And that episode 2, threshold management, I've told people if you have an hour dedicated to your walk with your dog, and it takes you 45 minutes to get through that threshold the right way, which is you leading, your dog following, not trying to get out the threshold, out there before you, walking through that threshold calmly. If it takes you 45 minutes to do that, your walk is 15 minutes. That's how important threshold management is to their dog's survival. I hate when I read those posts. It breaks my heart every single time. And there's absolutely no reason for it if people put the time, the effort, and the consistency into it. So make that your goal this month. Focus on threshold management. Protect your dog. The other thing I want to bring up, somebody reached out to me this morning, and unfortunately they're from my old hometown, who has a dog that is a great family dog. Unfortunately, it is very protective of the house and stranger danger, and it does apparently have a bite history. So it makes it uncomfortable for people to come over. It makes it uncomfortable for the person coming over because it happens to be a big breed dog. And it makes it uncomfortable for the people that live there to have people come over to their home. You want to have your doors open. Your dog is part of your family, you're part of your pack, and you want them to be part of it. You don't want to put the dogs into separate rooms or into a crate or avoid, to avoid the situation, because the one thing, avoidance doesn't teach anything, guys. So a couple of suggestions, and I hope she's out there watching. If she is, just put a comment up there. Let me know you're watching. I know you said you're going to try to catch me today on the live. One of the first things I tell people, when your dog has this reactivity, guys, most of the time it's a fear-based reactivity. It is not an aggressive reactivity. It's just, this is what the dog thinks its job is for whatever reason. And it's usually because, one, I don't think most people know how to introduce themselves properly to a dog, and everybody thinks they're a dog person. And it's, if a dog is giving you signs, don't approach me. First thing, listen to what the dog is saying. There are certain dogs that I've walked into people's homes as a trainer, as a friend or a relative, that you can see this dog is just not comfortable. Well, don't go to make friends with the dog. Don't try to become the dog's BFF. Let the dog figure this out on its own. But the more we tend, and even as the dog owners, we tend to try to force the process of, it's only Aunt Jane, and Aunt Jane's nice. Go say hello. And the dog is saying, I'm not comfortable. Stop forcing the dogs to do things, guys. Stop forcing yourself on your friends, your relatives, your family members' dogs when they're giving you clear signs. I am not comfortable with this, what you're doing. And if we stop forcing the issues, some of these behaviors go away, because then the dog gets to figure out, okay, what do I need to do? How can I coexist? Or, you know what? The dog just may not be that type of dog that wants be petted by every person on the face of the earth. And that's okay. I had cases where couple had 2 dogs in the home first, then they got children second. And one of the dogs, clear signs, not comfortable around little kids. I'm not going to move forward. I'm going to try to leave the room when they come into the room because I'm just not comfortable. And not that they forced the dog to like the children, but they kind of wanted it to happen. And I had to explain to them, the dog's doing the right thing. Hey, I am not comfortable. Let me take myself out of the situation and let me be. If they force the issue, you can create an aggressive situation. And that's what we tend to do because we want everybody to be BFFs, and that's not reality. Some dogs just don't want to be around other humans, don't want to be around little kids. As long as they leave the situation and not move forward with the teeth and the snapping and all that, I'm fine with it. Just don't force the issue. The dog is telling you what it wants. We choose not to hear what they're saying sometimes, I think. So one thing, if your dog tries to, you have guests come over your house, and the dog is telling you, "I'm not comfortable." Let the dog go off on its own. Don't lock it in a room. Don't put it in its cage, because that has a negative association in my world. Just let the dog do what it wants to do and leave it alone, and tell people to leave the damn dog alone. It's okay, as long as the dog isn't moving forward. What happens is the dogs that I've seen that have this reactivity when people come into the homes is, when I get through the backstory of it all, they were showing those signs. But as the dog owner, we want our dog to be sociable with every human being on the face of the earth and every person, and we want them to be nice, and we want them to get the love they deserve, and then we force them out of their comfort zone. And after a while, they get to the point where, hell, everybody comes into this house, I'm being put in an uncomfortable situation, I'm going to protect myself. So that's the first thing I suggest when you have a dog that's reactive to people that come into your home. Stop forcing the issue. If you know your dog is reactive, definitely have it on a leash, so you have control over the dog. But you have to put your foot down and tell these people, do not interact with my dog. If my dog chooses to interact with you, that's fine, but don't, no look, no touch, no talk, period. And you have to do that because your dog is communicating to you. Listen to what it's saying. The second thing I do suggest, and a lot of people squawk at it, and I know I've talked about it on this platform before, is muzzle condition the dog when nobody else is there but the people that it likes. Muzzle conditioning is not only beneficial to the dog, because we don't have to, the dog can't bite somebody. It's beneficial to the humans around the dog because we relax. The more we relax, our energy changes. The dog senses that. Because right now, if you have a dog that is reactive and has bitten people, I don't care what you tell yourself, the reality is somebody comes to the home and, oh my God, my dog might bite somebody. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. We get tense, we get nervous. The dogs pick up on our energy, and they actually do what we projecting they're going to do. So by putting the muzzle conditioning in the dog, you'll tend to relax, because once the muzzle's on the dog, the dog can't bite somebody unless they're stupid enough to stick their fingers in there. And then if they do, they deserve to get bit. Muzzle conditioning is a good tool for dogs that you have to worry about, that they might nip, they might bite, they might do, they might, because it relaxes you. There is nothing wrong with the muzzle. Get good quality muzzles. Don't get those ones that groomers and vets use, and the dog can't really pant or breathe right. I always recommend basket style muzzles, so they can pant, they can drink water, you can give treats through it. But muzzle condition the dog without anybody being there. So in a case like I had, again, when I was up on Long Island, where I had a German Shepherd that was very reactive and very guarded when people came into the home, we muzzle conditioned the dog. And how we did that process was, when the mother and the father were there, they muzzle conditioned the dog. They started maybe the muzzle being on for a minute, then maybe 5 minutes, then maybe 15. We expanded the duration, the time frame, how long the dog was on the muzzle, until the dog got comfortable. And then I said, okay, so once the dog is comfortable with it and can be on for the muzzle for 2-3 hours and it's really fine with it, after a week or so of that, put the muzzle on, say at 11 o'clock in the morning. Dog's comfortable, it's just mom and dad, that's cool. Then at 12 o'clock, invite somebody over. The muzzle's on for an hour, and have the dog on a leash, because you'll all be relaxed and nobody will be worried about the dog biting because it's on a muzzle. If the dog makes an unwanted motion, you have your leash, so you can make a correction to say no, to teach it how to turn the no into a yes. And then again, no look, no touch, no talk. The people coming into the house should have really no interaction with the dog whatsoever, until the dog is calm, and let the dog come over to them. And why I did it that way, and I explained to them, for the 2-week process, 3-week process, whatever it was, where they were just muzzle conditioning the dog, when it was just the two of them. And then after the dog was comfortable, have the muzzle on the dog for an hour, invite the guests over. The reason I did that is I didn't want them to put the muzzle on the dog, and then 5 minutes later somebody knocking on the door, because the dog may perceive that as, oh, somebody's coming over and they're putting the muzzle on me. So I wanted the dog just to get into a normal routine of, hey, I have the muzzle on. Oh, look at this, an hour later somebody comes over, I still have the muzzle on, but that's what I had an hour ago. changes the perception. It changes perception in the humans. It makes it an easier transition. That's why I'd rather see you muzzle condition your dog when people come over, before people come over, than put the dog in a bathroom or a bedroom or in a crate before people come over. Because again, the association is, I have people coming to my area, my domain, and I'm being locked up. I don't like this. I'm not comfortable with this. If you're going to separate the dog, then the dog should be separated even when you guys are home before you have guests come over in the same routine. So they're not associating the ding dong with being thrown into a bathroom or a crate. Association goes a long way. So I hope this makes sense, guys. Let me know in the comments if this makes sense, because this is crucial. Again, because of this wonderful freaking thing called Facebook, we read about these stories of people having to rehome their dogs because they can't have guests in their house, and there's ways to do it if people want to put the time and the effort and the consistency into doing it. Same thing I talk about. Muzzle conditioning to me should be crucial. Personally, in my opinion, there's a couple of things every puppy should learn, and that is, I think muzzle conditioning should be one of them, especially for a dog that needs to be groomed, because you don't want the groomer, and even the vets in that case, because the dog reacted funny on the grooming table and then they force the muzzle on the dog, then the muzzle becomes a scary item. And we don't want the tools to become scary items. So muzzle conditioning a puppy is actually a good thing, because from puppyhood, you get them used to having this thing. So God forbid they're ever in a situation where they need to be muzzled, a vet's office, a grooming office, whatever the case may be, they're comfortable with it because it was something we started with at a very early age. And there's nothing wrong with it. I think too many people look at the muzzle as a negative tool. I put the muzzle on the dog because the dog's aggressive. It doesn't mean the dog's aggressive. Guys, dogs aren't naturally aggressive. Most aggression is a result of insecurity and being scared. If that makes sense, guys, let me know. Patrice says, let me just pull this up so you guys can see it too. We have been practicing all of this with Macy. Great. And she's been getting much better. She even let one of our guests pet her last week. Fantastic. And that's the whole object. But you let her do it on her time. Don't force the issue. Guys, we got to stop doing that. It is so ridiculous. We force dogs into situations they're telling us they're uncomfortable, where we wouldn't force our human children into those situations. So why do we do it for the dogs? I don't understand the concept. Bergen peed on my bed 2 nights ago, and last night Athena marked the bed with pee. Yeah, it makes sense. I think Athena is a little stressed out by Bergen. Any thoughts? Whew. I would have to ask the question, have you been getting him out on that pack walk yet? That's going to go a long way. And if Athena's getting stressed out by Bergen, that means Bergen, because Bergen's still a puppy, maybe Bergen's play energy is a little bit too much for Athena and she's getting fed up with it. Start controlling it more. Again, we talked about it last week. No playing in the house. The house should be the calm zone 100% of the time. I'm not a big fan of playing inside the house. We have a yard, let them play in the yard. I mean, even here where I'm in, an apartment, if I have my grand dogs here, there's no playing in the apartment. We go to the dog park. You guys can play there. When I take Zoe to my daughter's house, they're not allowed to play in the house. They're allowed to play out in the yard. The house should represent the calm, so there shouldn't be any stress levels in the house. If Bergen is constantly antagonizing Athena because Bergen's a puppy and wants to play, that's definitely a stress trigger. No pack walks yet, but working on the training separately. Just keep going. Don't overthink this stuff, Michelle. Just keep going. Stay the course. Enjoy this journey we talk about every week. Get on the journey and enjoy the journey, and expect that fork in the road where you may have to, took the wrong fork and it took you a little bit longer out of the way. That's okay. It's okay sometimes to go in reverse and take 2 steps back to start over again. Those are part of the journey, Yeah, you got to learn. Yeah. What I would do is if you have good control of Athena in the house, instead of separating them, when when they're not supervised, definitely separate them. But when you guys are there and you're watching, keep Bergen on a short leash, and just she's not allowed to play, and you got to reinforce it a million times until she gets it that the inside's off limits. And a couple of things that'll show for Athena is that hey, you're in charge, because separation is almost as bad as avoidance, because instead of dealing with the problem, we're separating them so we don't have to deal with it. It's an avoidance mentality, and you know me on avoidance, I'm not big on it. So I would definitely keep them together as long as they're supervised with Bergen on a short leash. You could try putting the prong that you have for Athena on Bergen and make the correction. This is unacceptable. We don't do this in the house. But then again, if Athena starts acting like an idiot and she wants to play, rules are rules. If Bergen can't play in the house, neither can Athena. And then, but I think you have much better the control of Athena with your nose and your discipline because she's used to it. Yes, that's what we've been doing, keeping both together on short leashes. Yeah, and just every time Bergen gets that little, oh, time to play. Nope, it's not. Your timing has to be good. Don't let it escalate. That 0 to 10 scale, keep it at a 2 or 3 inside the house. No more than a 3. Definitely no more than a 3. And they should be playing together inside the house. If you want to give them things to play with, balls, toys, whatever, and you're comfortable that there won't be a fight over them, do that to occupy them. But it's going to come from you guys. Athena should not be stressed. If Athena's stressed, also I would work with her. I know last week we talked about working with Bergen a lot more. Maybe just do some one-on-one bonding training with Athena a little bit more when she's showing those signs of stress, so she doesn't think the puppy's getting all the attention. I'm I say don't humanize them, but I do think sometimes that plays a factor into it. That they get, and I use the quotes because it's a human emotion, jealous. Um, I don't think they really get jealous, but they show signs of jealousy. Um, Work one on one, bond more with Athena when she's showing those stress pointers, because again, those stress pointers are communication. It's just guys, if it was that easy, everybody would have well behaved dogs. I've been working with her this. I will be working with her this weekend. I agree she needs more one on one. Yeah, and that's a normal thing. We get the new puppy and the new dog into the home, and we're going to focus a lot of our attention on them because we need to. They don't know the rules, whatever, and we forget. It's no different than having children. You have one child first, and the new baby comes in. Of course, we're going to give the baby more attention because babies need it, and the other one gets jealous, and it's very hard to divide your time. It sucks, but you have to do it. And I'm not saying it's easy. I wish I can say it was easy. It's not easy, but your energy has to stay consistent, and you do have to give the older dog, the dog that's been in the house longer, sometimes maybe a little bit more attention for a little bit. But that's okay. But don't do it because you feel sorry for Athena. Do it because you want to. Do it because it's fun. Do it because it's that journey I talk about. If you do it because you feel sorry, because Bergen's been getting all the attention, my poor baby hasn't been getting any attention. You're weak. You can't do that. It should just be, hey, I just want to hang out with Athena for these 2 days. Bergen, you're on your own, pal. Or whatever it is. Your energy is going to make or break it. We know this. Um, Again, guys, I'm putting this out halfway in. Because we get new viewers as we go along here. Tuesday nights, I'm not sure what the start date is. 9 o'clock. I'm going to start a new platform of this live. 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, where it's going to be live free dog training sessions. Because I think I'm going to keep that to Tuesdays and this platform on Saturdays. And I think during the week, during Tuesday night 9 o'clock Eastern time, I hit the folks up on the West Coast somewhat too, Central Time and all that, so we can be a lot more interactive. Because I really want this to work. Because again, when we talk, like when I talked to Michelle last week and we did this little training session, somebody else had the same experience with their dogs that we were talking about, and that helped Michelle understand, hey, I'm not alone here. Because guys, we're not. That's why we do this. So again, work your threshold management, guys, this month. July is the threshold management month. Really focus on it. You know, focus on the threshold management. Focus it on different areas. How do I sign up for alerts? This is great. Jonah, I don't know if you're on my Facebook page or coming through Remember Me Rescues. If you're not on my Facebook page, please like my Facebook page, Back to Basics Dog Training. I will be posting everything through my Back to Basics Facebook page. I will also be posting on Remember Me Rescues Facebook page because she's nice enough to let me share it. Where I will be making posts. I will be posting it on different dog rescue groups and dog groups that I'm part of all over the country. So there'll be multiple places to see it. But if you're interested in doing the 15-minute free training session with me live and in living color, text me at the number here for 631-514-9128 or shoot me an email at the info@backtobasics with the S dogtraining.com. Give me your name, so I can communicate with you. We'll get it scheduled out as soon as I come up with when I'm going to start doing the Tuesday nights. I'm probably not going to start until the first week of August because I got things coming up this month that I don't know if I can get away from. So I don't want to feel rushed to do this. I want to when I do these 15-minute training sessions, this is where I want to be. I don't want to be worried about distractions outside. I will be shutting down the chats during the training sessions. So we're not looking at the questions that people are putting through. We'll address all questions afterwards. We're going to make this all about you guys. Excuse me, Darlene, welcome. How do I get an 8-week-old puppy to stop biting us? Good luck. No, that's normal. It's not biting, it's playing. That's how dogs play. They play with their mouths. That's what they do. But you can control the bite level of the dog. There's many methods for it. There are some trainers out there that say when the dog bites you too hard, scream, ow. Why laugh out loud? Good luck. About the question. Sorry, I got myself confused. But there are certain things you can do. One thing I tell people, and I don't care if it's an 8-week-old puppy or an 8-year-old dog, don't let the puppy initiate play with you. If you let the puppy initiate play with you, the puppy's controlling the situation. So one, I don't let them. So if they start biting me, because that's what they're doing when they're playing, I stop it. And how I stop it is I may become a mother dog. I may grab them by the scruff a little bit, not with anger, not with frustration. Just, hey, we're not doing this now. This is not the time to be playing. And an 8-week-old puppy should be sleeping a lot, so there isn't a hell of a lot of playtime. And then when they're calm, I will calmly pet them. And then because they're puppies, within a couple minutes after I get them to calm, I'll initiate the play. Once I feel the bite get a little too hard, we stop the play and we bring them back down to calm. This way they learn, hey, it's called bite inhibition. Once they bite too hard, we stop. And then eventually, over time, they learn that this is that. But when you hold them and you're trying to get them to be calm, you have to do it calm. If you don't do it calm and you do it because it hurts and you're angry and you're frustrated, they're going to read that and they're going to struggle and it's going to become a fight and it's ugly. Just, hey, I'm done. You bit too hard. Playtime is over. And again, an 8-week-old puppy, after a couple minutes of play, they should go back in the crate and go to bed by time anyway because they're like little kids. They need to sleep. 8-week-old puppy, if I remember reading correctly a couple of years ago, I think it's anywhere from 18 to 21 hours of sleep they need. I'm not 100% sure, so don't quote me on it. Do your own research. They need a lot of sleep. Same as little infants, guys. Joanne, I kind of agree a little bit with distractions. I don't like redirection for biting because, again, dogs are smarter than we think, guys. I bite you, you give me my favorite toy. Oh, I'll just bite you every time I want my favorite toy. So they're kind of smart. I don't like redirecting. If we don't want the biting, we stop the biting. Redirecting is just saying, instead of biting this, bite this. Well, we're still biting. We're not teaching the dog how to calm down, get back to calm because you got a little too rough. I'd rather teach calm. Guys, I say this all the time. 99% of the issues I deal with the dogs is overexcitement changes because we don't deal with it right. We redirect, we get angry, we get frustrated, we get all these human emotions going. Learn how to reward calm. So again, if I'm working with an 8-week-old puppy and it's biting me for on its own, I stop it. Once it gets calm, once it gets calm, I'll reward that calm by initiating the play. Does that make sense? Because now I'm rewarding it. You wanted to play, but hey, you started this on your own. Yeah. That's like my kid saying, Dad, feed me now. I'm not going to let a puppy say, play with me now. Um, I reward calm. If you think about everything I talk about, for the ones who have been following me for as long as I've been doing this, um, I always talk about rewarding calm. When we talk about threshold management, which is what we started today with, when can the dog go through the front door threshold with me on a walk? When it's calm. So we can go on the walk, which is your reward, your praise, your treat, whatever, when you're in a calm state of mind. So if I do threshold management and the dog bolts out at 700 miles an hour, your dog's coming right back in until it can walk out through that door like a lady or a gentleman. Calmly, I will reward the calm. Same way, when I come home and the dogs are excited to see me, I will not pet them. I will not feed into the nonsense. They have to be calm. I will reward the calm. It's a much better way to do it. And you can do this with an 8-week-old puppy. People don't realize I did this with Zoe. Zoe's one of the calmest dogs you'll meet. And why? Because from she was 8 weeks old, I started this. She doesn't bark at everything that she sees. She doesn't pull me towards other dogs or people that, people she does because she loves people, but she doesn't really pull because once she feels the tension on a leash, she knows, oops, I better slow down. Um, but she can sit out on my terrace here while people are walking their dogs in the courtyard here or people are at the pool over there, and she doesn't bark at them because everything I've ever taught her is always based on calm first. But in order to teach calm, you need to be calm. It's a great concept, guys. It works, you know, and it's just putting in the effort and staying in that calm state of mind day in, day out. I mean, I know it's hard. And again, anybody who's interested, 'cause I'm going to be taking this off the screen in a second. Anybody who's interested in having that free 15-minute dog training session with me starting probably in August, please reach out to me at 631-514-9128. Text message is the best. Or email me at info@backtobasicsdogtraining.com. Let me know your issues. I'll get back to you. I may ask for videos so we can show our viewers what you're dealing with, and then we can discuss it from there. And we can go on this journey together. Joanne says, I have 3 small dogs, one Barco Maltese, 8 years old, need to listen. How do you reward calm? If they're doing a barker, it barks at everything, it barks at the leaf falling or whatever. Again, I use my leash a lot. I would put a leash on when I know it's a barking situation. So just arbitrarily, somebody walks on the street, dog barks. I kind of like that because it's telling the people we have dogs. But if it's obsessive barking and doesn't shut the hell up, I have an issue. So I put the leash on the dog, and if they're barking at a person or something on the street, I let it bark for a few seconds. Then I'm like, okay, enough. And then when it's calm, the state of mind is calm, and you may have to do this 100 times. Good. Yes. Praise. You can give treats if that's what you want to do. I'm not a big treat person because if I'm happy, my energy changes. My dog reads that and they know I'm happy. That's the best treat in the world. But if you want to give treats, you can. That's rewarding the calm. Not stopping the barking. Stopping the barking is obedience. State of mind is behavioral. Calmer state of mind works. So again, if the dog is a consistent barker, I use my leash. I don't use the word no because, again, my world, no is final. You're never allowed to do that again. So I use the word enough. Enough. Thanks for doing your job, letting me know there's somebody on the street. I got it from here. I'm telling you it's okay, basically. So I do enough. And then when I see that state of mind calm and they're focused more on me than what's going on outside, I praise, I make a big deal out of it without so much excitement. Good. I'm so happy. Yes, that's great. Again, if you want to use treats, you can. Treat because you're rewarding the calmer state of mind. Don't be fooled between obedience and behavior. Obedience is great, behavior is crucial. Behavior is the state of mind. And that's what we discuss here at Back to Basics Dog Training, is state of mind. Dog sits, that's obedience. The dog comes, that's obedience. State of mind is calm. And that's how you reward the calm. Um, it just takes time, especially you're talking about an 8-year-old dog. So it's 8 years in the making. So it may take you a little bit longer than, say, a 8-week-old, 10-week-old, 12-week-old puppy, but that's okay. It's the journey. The journeys are fun. I love going on journeys. Patrice asks, is it okay to let your dog go on the couch? I like having her with me, but sometimes she paws me for attention. It is. I have absolutely no problem with dogs being on furniture. I believe they should be invited onto the furniture. They shouldn't make the decision on their own. Should invite them. But if the dog, when they're sitting with you and you just want to chill out, watch TV, again, if it's pouring at you for attention, it's saying, pet me now. And if you sit there and you start petting, dog is in control. It's like the kid saying, you're sitting now watching TV and the kid says, I'm hungry now, make me a sandwich. Get off your ass and do it yourself. Excuse my language. So at that point, if Macy is, I think Macy, um, is being a nudge, annoying you, now you have to get off the couch. You lost the privilege because you became annoying. Not sending them on timeout. They could still be in the same room, but you have to get off the couch until your state of mind is calm, and then I'll bring you back up. Um, you know, I have that problem with this 7-month-old Shih Tzu. Yeah, absolutely. These are common problems. You think you're the only ones who have them. You're not. But again, off the couch until your state of mind is calm. Then you come back up. And what they learn, I think it's called Pavlov's theory, is I do this, this is the consequence. I don't do this, this is the reward. And then you praise the calmer state of mind. Dogs should not beg for affection. Should not. How many times have you ever sat in a chair with a bigger dog and your arm's on the armrest and the dog is doing this with its nose? Hey, pet me, pet me. And what do we do? Okay. That dog just told you what the hell to do. If you're not going to let people do it, don't let dogs do it. You're allowed to control those situations, guys. But it's work, but it's that journey. I keep talking about the journey, and it's such a reward at the end when you finish your journey and you go through that tunnel, and the light at the end of the tunnel is sitting on a beach with a pina colada feeling. That's the journey. But it's okay. Sometimes on those journeys we get sidetracked, and that's cool too, because it's all part of it. So, guys, we're at the magic 40-minute mark. As always, I didn't put this up there this week, so we're going to put it up there right now. I want to say this till I'm blue in the face. Energy is the most important form of communication we have with our animals. Check your energy. Calmer you are, the calmer your dog is. If your dog is up here with their excitement, you should be down here with your calm, because that's what's going to be overpowering. The calmer you are, the calmer they are. And that's the beauty of it, because it's all based on calm. And who the heck doesn't want to be calm? It's such a better way to live life. But with that being said, guys, we're going to start wrapping it up for this weekend. I will keep everybody, again, if you're watching and you're not part of my Facebook page, you're part of Remember Me Rescues, please find my Facebook page. It's Back to Basics Dog Training. Now that I moved SC for South Carolina, type that into the search. Make sure you like my page or follow the page, and all my notifications will be put up there when I'm going to start it, with the information you need to be able to participate. But in the meantime, you can always participate by emailing me at info@backtobasicsdogtraining.com. There's only going to be 2 or 3 guests per week. So first come, first serve type of theory. So the quicker you get it in, the quicker I'll schedule it. I'm excited about the new platform. I think it's going to be a great thing to help everybody. And we're going to take it from there. So, as always, guys, thank you for inviting me into your homes each and every Saturday morning. You have no idea how it makes me feel. I feel honored, like I said. I feel blessed to be able to help you guys. So, thank you, thank you, thank you. With that being said, guys, as always, stay healthy, stay safe, God bless. And remember, together we can help one dog and one family at a time. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, guys, and we'll see you next week.